Hey everybody, some Fire here. So basically I want to come on here and talk about um just I usually don't like play into a lot of I usually don't talk a lot about mainstream stuff. I mean I follow sometimes I follow mainstream stuff, but I'm not really huge in mainstream stuff I do have some guilty pleasures. I love ratchetness sometimes, but I just want to keep it on the down low, but not too much ratchetness. Okay, I don't participate in it. I watch it though. Like but so um I wanted to go over the new Netflix drama Cleopatra, his new Netflix uh documentary docu series that's about Cleopatra. So I and I also wanted to like just talk about like all the just everything in general. It's just like race in film media and other types of media. It's getting out of control. Um I know we have and by the way, I think I will probably talk about um Cleopatra in a separate video, the documentary, the docu series, because I've just finished watching the first episode of that. Um, so basically, we've come a long way since the 50s and the 60s, um, portraying just portraying historical characters. I mean, you've got John Wayne playing Genghis Khan. You've got well, I mean, not just historical characters. I mean, just like characters that are not supposed to be white. Like we got John Wayne playing Genghis Khan. We've got I don't know, white people. We got white people playing Jesus. We got white people playing Moses. We got like Charleston Heston and Ten Commandments. By the way, that Ten Commandments with Charleston Heston, didn't know that was a remake, but it is in one of my top 10 lists movies. One of my top 10 lists of movies of that no matter if you're religious or not, you will that I watch it every Easter. I have to watch it around every Easter or Passover. I just love that movie. It's just I have to. It's great. Um it's 4 hours long though, but it's worth it. For me, it's worth it. So I don't even know what to say. Like when Mickey Rooney played the landlord, Japanese landlord, when Charlie Chan, that Swedish dude, I forget his name, but I feel like he must have had some English, some Chinese, some Asian in him because he needed a little to no makeup to play a Chinese man. So it's just Boris Karloff playing Mr. Wong. So yeah, it's a lot's going on here. So that Hollywood did. Oh yeah, and the really famous one, Sir Laurence Olivier playing Othello, all that black skin to toes, black. It's like, oh my gosh. Um, so, uh, I just want to say that progress is not is the 50s and 60s. I've said we've come a long way from since film in 50s and the 60s. I mean, it's progress that we're making, and society in general, our progressing, and we're not just letting white people tell other people's stories anymore. We're understanding, hey, you know what? Maybe we should get these type of people who identify with this history to help tell us about this history, instead of just having white people, instead of Hollywood, the 50s and 60s Hollywood, and even 20, I'm not going to put just say 50s and 60s, even 20s, in the 1920s, just them thinking, oh, white people are going to tell all these stories. It's like we've progressed a lot. Oh, so like going from the 20s to now, that's over 100 years. So yeah, we have progressed in the way. Actually, even when we got to the 50s, I think we progressed, and we didn't progress as we have today, but I think we progressed in seeing like, oh, you know what? That was a bad example of how a white person portrays another race. Maybe we should put a little more makeup on. I guess that was progress back then. I don't know. I wasn't alive back then, definitely. But I can say now we've progressed a lot more than back then if you compare it. So I don't think we should totally get mad at Hollywood and TV and producers just for getting like cast not correctly done, like to a T. I mean, we're all, at the end of the day, we're all human. Sometimes we get stuff wrong, and I don't think that we should just penalize everyone who had to do with anything, because sometimes we're just not aware until someone points out like a mistake that we make. Because that's why we have consultants or like advisors to help us out through something. No one has the same opinion. If you see one form of media, if I see one form of media, like if I see the 10 Commandments, yes, I probably, because since I love the 10 Commandments, I don't see anything wrong with it, because I grew up watching the 10 Commandments with Charlton Heston. But another person who could have a different opinion as me, and that's fine. What I'm trying to say is it's progress, and I keep referring back to the 10 Commandments. The dude who created the first 10 Commandments was in the 20s or the teens, I don't know. I think it was in the 20s or maybe the 30s, but it was a silent movie, and he wanted to do a new one because he thought like there should be more religious. It should be more religious. So he made another. So he was progressing in the way he saw things. So how the film industry is progressing. It's not going to be right every time. It's not going to get it right every time. So I think people shouldn't be canceled just for getting one mistake. It's like, but like if you do a mistake all the time, and then it gets a little bit, okay, you need to step back for a second. So progress doesn't mean, oh, it's set in stone. We found the solution to the problem that we had. It's understanding something. It's asking questions about something, about what stuff happened in the past, and like, should we still be doing it this way, or can we find another way to do it? It's understanding that as time goes by, maybe we have to adjust some things to get our answer that we want, and understanding that, you know what, maybe I can't always get the maybe we can't find the exact solution to it right now, but we can find a way to deal with the solution with a temporary solution for right now. So that's why I don't really like the that's why I don't really like cancel culture and anything like that. But I don't want to talk about cancel culture right now. Right now I just want to talk about how diversity in film and in media, because like I said, I want to bring the topic. I got inspired from from hearing about Cleopatra, the new Netflix docuseries Cleopatra, and how everyone's getting up in arms about how it's a black woman who is portraying her. Now, don't get me wrong. I I I I think she's a good actress. She's beautiful. I I mean, this is the only place I know her from, know the actress from, but I don't have a problem with the actress. The thing that I do have a problem with, and this is goes for other things too, like um, Disney does this a lot, and I don't know if they know this, but anyway, Disney does this a lot. Like you are looking for a diversity quota. You are looking to find a way to get a message out that has nothing to do with what you want to say. And you're using history to get to that quota. Well, I mean, Disney doesn't do it with history nowadays. They're doing something they're doing something else. They haven't really been using um a lot of historical stories to do that. Maybe like if you could put Pocahontas in that category, but like millennials don't want to put Pocahontas in this category. um, but like the thing is, like, I don't like when history is politicized, and I know it's weird because it's just at the same. It's like you say you don't like when it is politicized, but there's a lot of politics that go into history. It's like, yes, I know. It's kind of a contradiction because you're gonna get history with politics no matter what you do. What I'm saying right now is just I don't like how history is being executed to get woke type of a woke type of message, like type of empowerment type of message. And I think that's what I don't like. What I I think you I think also for like you could say like The Woman King. I haven't seen that movie, and I don't the thing is I never really wanted to see that movie until a bunch of people were saying because I've heard of that character, the historical figure that they were talking about before. I just and I know that she was from the Dahomey tribe, and I know that's where they sold a lot of black people to white people for, and that's one of the reasons how the slave trade started. And it's just like, and they were actually in the movie they were trying to they were trying to um fight the 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 slave catcher. So it's just like, again, that's an agenda, a political agenda, saying that's you mixing up the thing, the historical facts to promote what you want to promote. it's just a way. It's just a way to feed their ego, the person who made this ego, saying, because it's a white person who created Woman King. So what does it say if a white person is creating a movie about an African tribe, an ancient African tribe, that is actually selling their people to white slaveholders so they can be sold in America? That, it's one thing that white people hate, is to be called racist. And she doesn't want to be called racist. So she's showing that, oh, I'm woke. But I'm not woke. I'm conscious. And I got my t-shirt in there. It's from The Mademoiselle if you want. If you want a t-shirt, she's on YouTube. Go support her channel if you want. But if you do, she's a lot. Just FYI, she's a lot. But the thing is, and for this too, with Cleopatra, Jada Pinkett Smith is promoting an agenda. I've never watched the Red Table Talk before, but obviously it was popular. And whether you like Jada Pinkett Smith or not, I don't like Jada Pinkett Smith because they're but having that aside, I don't like what she's doing, because she's saying that, because basically she is saying that Cleopatra was black when she wasn't. Obviously, she's basically saying, I'm trying to get people to understand our history, when first of all, Jada, you're American, you're not Egyptian. So it's not our history, it's Egyptian history. Second of all, okay, maybe she could have been black. But it's just, I'll talk about this more in another video. But it's just, I don't like when I see a black person or another type of non-white character on TV nowadays, on screen or on the TV. Nowadays, it's kind of sad, because you have to decipher, oh, is this just because the character, like, they just felt like getting a person who is actually black, who they felt like, is this because the person for the audition was actually good, or is it because are the people who created this trying to fill a diversity quota? And sorry if it's getting a little dark. It's raining outside, and it's almost like 5. It's like almost 5 o'clock now, so 5 p.m. So it's just, it's kind of not good. It's not good, because I just want to sit down and watch something good. It's like, it doesn't, and even at this point, even if they did get if the producer, if Jada Pinkett Smith never came out and said her agenda is like, and she just got a black woman to play Cleopatra, and she said nothing about it, I would probably be like, oh, she probably had a good audition. Because if you don't remember, in the original Night of the Living Dead, the main character was black. The guy who created Night of the Living Dead said he just had the best audition. If you don't remember, the third Jurassic Park, I think it was, Jeff Goldblum for some reason had a black daughter. To this day, we still don't know how he has a black daughter. She just had a good audition. I would be okay with Jada not speaking on all the controversy and saying that, and like, or she just come in and say, well, she just had a good, she auditioned and she just had a good one and I liked her. It's like, but now she's coming on and saying that, oh, this is to empower women of the Pan-African diaspora. And it's just like, are you sure? And the same thing goes for like, for me, for when I saw Bridgerton, when I heard of Bridgerton for the first time, I don't watch Bridgerton, but I do love Masterpiece, and Masterpiece is kind of like Bridgerton, but like if you don't know what Masterpiece Theater is, it's on PBS, and it's just the BBC basically. It's just the BBC coming to America, but aside from that, and they do have, I like a lot of their historical dramas, and they do have a lot of Black people, whereas a lot of in America, a lot of our historical dramas don't have a lot of Black people in high society. And so when I saw Bridgerton for the first time, I was just like, wait a second, is this real? It's like, were there actually Black people in high society, or is it just because it's just because they wanted to fill a diversity quota? But no, now that I actually did work, now that I actually did my research, were actually a lot of Black people in high society back then. And that series, I think it was on HBO, about the Gilded Age, there were a lot of Black people in high society. I'm not saying like they were a bunch, but they were a good amount. So what what I basically want is, and I think everyone wants this, like, I just want to sit down and not have, are you a racist or are you not a racist? Do you support white supremacy? Do you not? Shoved down my throat when I'm watching something that I want to watch. I just want to watch something good. Like, even people who watch anime, they're just like, oh, well, it's just a bunch. I don't know why Japanese people just just have a bunch of white people on their in their shows, and it's just like, and if you actually, there are videos of people looking at of Asian people looking at anime and saying, oh no, that person is definitely Asian. I don't know what, and like deciphering which Asian anime character is like, oh, I think that person is Chinese, but that person looks more Japanese. It's acts more Japanese, and it's just like, I just want to sit down and watch something. I don't really want to decipher stuff. If I want to decipher stuff, yes, I'm a historian, and I do like deciphering stuff, but sometimes I just don't want to take notes. Sometimes I just don't want to have to think about, so like, oh, how Black is that character? It's like, oh, why are you only portraying the Asian people as the bad people? And like, it's like, what? I don't want racism in the back of my mind. I mean, I'm not saying like we shouldn't talk about it, but I'm saying, why is everything about racism? Why is everything about race? Why is everything about trying to say which ethnicity is better or not? It's like, just stop, please. It's getting too much, and no one's asking for this, and it's just, it's a lot. So that's basically all I have to say today. I'll try to get out my I think I'm gonna watch I'm definitely gonna watch the rest of the Cleopatra thing, but I'll have a video out on the first episode soon. So I didn't want this to be this long, but it happened. So I'll talk to you later. So bye for now.